Danny Lino. He's our Parks Commissioner here. There is no job too small for him. He is on top of everything. How many parks do we have in the town of Hempstead?
39 man parks.
So that's a lot. We've got 39 man parks and then a whole bunch of passive parks, which means that there's not employees managing it on a daily basis. But of course, we look after it. We open it up. We close it at dark, that type of thing. So that's a lot. But in the town of Hempstead, we're really proud of our parks.
Yes, we are. We're very proud of our parks. We're proud of our employees for keeping them safe and clean. We couldn't have a better bunch of CSCA employees helping us.
Great, thank you. With this help of the CSCA, these parks really do remain beautiful, and they are the gem of the town of Hempstead. So I've got some questions here, okay? So when I announced that I was going to do this series, I asked the residents to submit questions, and I encourage you to do so. I like the tough ones extra. So let me start off with the first one. A gentleman asked me about the baseball fields here at Seaman's Neck Park, and you definitely are the expert on the issue, but I know that I get this question a lot. I represent the South Shore in the town of Hempstead, and we have a lot of water. So we're sort of low on the water table, so we have a lot of flooding issues at our park. So how do we handle that with baseball fields, particularly in Seaman's Neck Park?
Yes, you're 100% correct. That's why we put in the turf football field with the special manifold system underneath it, because that field used to pond also. Now, what we're doing is we're looking into future capital to possibly putting that outfield all turf with, with a manifold underneath to help that situation.
So that's pretty much, turf is the way to go when you're dealing with flooding issues. Obviously, turf is expensive. We can't do it all at once. It's definitely on our radar. We've received a lot of complaints about the field here in Seaford and Baldwin and throughout my district. So I can tell you that we're on it. We have the solution. It's an expensive solution, so we will be rolling it out slowly. But Adam, we hear you on it. Next question is upgrading the spray park area in Seaman's Neck Park. It does need a little bit of a facelift, just like me. Do you have any comments?
Yes, that's another situation which we would discussed in the past of future capital, and we are definitely looking into that also. That's been on our radar. Perry and the staff does a great job making sure that it's efficient and clean, but yes, without a doubt, that's something that we definitely have to look into in the future.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think the spray park is as old as I am, so we won't get into that. But I think it does need a little TLC. But Perry, thank you for working with what you have. We appreciate that. So I have a couple of questions about the state of the park, the walkways here in the park. Apparently, even there was a child who was injured here. So we're concerned about that. We are taking action. Do you want to explain what the next steps are?
Yes, well, under your leadership, Councilwoman, we have set up a resolution coming on June 11th to provide new paths in Seaman's Neck Park. With that being said, I believe if the contract is available, we'll be starting this project in the middle of July.
And that would be a pretty quick fix, right? Once we get all the machinery out here and all that, should we start seeing some relief soon?
By all means, we're going to go to the areas that are most contentious, where people could get injured. So we're going to take care of that first, and then go throughout the park. Okay.
So regarding the walkways, your concerns are valid. We've heard them, and we're fixing it. You're welcome to come to the town board meeting. That's June 11th at 7 p.m. We're having a nightly meeting. That's next week, and we would love to hear you to come out and voice your support for fixing the walkways, but I'm sure it's going to happen. My next question is asking about the state of road improvement projects in the town of Hempstead. That is probably the biggest complaint that I receive is the state of our roads. We have enough roads if you were to drive from New York to Texas. That's a lot of mileage. Many of these roads were paved at the same time. Now, that's not giving you excuses. It's just trying to explain to you why we are where we are, coupled with bad winters, a lot of salt that we throw on the roads during the winter to clean up the roads that the town of Hempstead workers do so well. But nonetheless, we've got a ton of potholes and a ton of roads that need help. So in Seaford right now, if you drive down Washington Avenue, you will see a bunch of highway trucks, big bulldozers, big stuff, and we are making Washington Avenue beautiful. So hopefully you're happy with that. That's going to take several more weeks, but that is going to be a beautiful fix. Next up on the capital plan, we have approved Maple Street, Neptune Avenue, and Clark Street. So those Those are bad too. Having lived in Seaford most of my life, I know those 3 streets and they are pretty bad. They're going to be fixed. That's probably within the year that those will be fixed. It takes a while to get the money moving and all of that and the project started. But those are 3 more streets in Seaford that you can look out for. In addition, anytime you see a pothole, anything that just looks nasty, call my office and we'll send someone out right away, at least to do a quick fix. It might not be a complete road repave, but we will certainly do a quick fix. Oh, okay. So there was a gentleman that asked me about a house I think, is that in Belmore or is that in Seaford? Okay, this is a house in Belmore, and I don't necessarily know if I want to read the address out loud here, but there is a house in Belmore, and I will tell you, Ken, that we are aware of it. The building department, sanitation, everyone is on top of it, and there should be some positive changes being made soon. In general, any houses that look run down, they look like zombie homes, the grass isn't being cut. Now, I'm not talking about leaving the Easter decorations out a little bit long, because I just took mine down last weekend. But anything that really is an eyesore and offensive to the good residents who pay taxes on a daily basis, anyone like that, anything like that, contact my office and we will certainly send someone out to pay a visit to find out what's going on so we can keep places like Seaford beautiful. And then I think the last question was about, hold on. At the front of the park, I think people wanted some striping there. Was that it?
No, I believe it was the curbs, repairing the curbs.
Okay, repairing the curbs. We're on it, and do we have a time frame for that?
I don't necessarily. I will speak to Commissioner Toscano
Okay.
and see what he has on his agenda, but I will get back to you.
Okay, great. So that's our Commissioner of Highway, who's a great guy. We are in touch with him to get that fixed. So keep the questions coming. I'm going to go play some volleyball. One more question?
Yes.
What is it?
I believe it was about the dog park. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. So the town of Hempstead has a dog park in Belmore, and I received a question from a resident asking whether or not we check on valid dog licenses. And the honest answer is we do not. You enter the dog park at your own risk. Use it at your own risk. We have signage up which states this clearly. This was the most workable solution that we were able to figure out, and I think it's we are fully compliant with all local regulations and laws regarding that. If there's any specific problems, please reach out to my office. I think the dog park has been well received.
Yes, and we have a phone number on there if there is a problem.
Okay.
On the sign, there's a phone number to call
Okay.
if there is a situation that arises.
Okay, I know my little doggy Pork Chop has played there on a couple play dates with Coconut, and it's been well received. But any concerns, by all means, reach out. Thank you. Have a great one, and get out and play in the parks.